is trend lines. Now, trend lines are very important to this strategy, so make sure you pay attention. Now, when it comes to drawing trend lines, it's very simple. There's no need to complicate this. You're going to grab you a trend line tool, and all you're going to do is you want to get 3 taps. So let's start off with this one. You can obviously see there's a trend, right? It's a trend. It's going down, right? Let me show you what a trend is for the new people in here. A trend is making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, right? This is how the market moves. Same thing for the downside. So we got lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So for us to do a trend line, all we're going to do is mark up the peaks, right? So let me put a couple more lower lows and lower highs. That. Okay, so a trend line is all we're doing is marking up the peaks. Now we want at least 3 taps of the peaks, right? And the peaks are going to be the wicks of the candle. Now the wicks are this little line coming out the candle where it looks like a tail. This is a wick, right? The little line. So you just draw that up. You want to get 3 taps. So you go like this, you draw it at the tip of them. So we have a trend line right here. And you can also draw it at the bottom, right? The wicks at the bottom, just like this wick, this wick. So this is a trend line, right? We're just marking up where is it bouncing off and rejecting, right? Every time price gets right here, it bounces and bounces and bounces. So we can anticipate when it breaks out that we're going to get some momentum and we're going to push through, right? So this is a trend line. So now let's do it with some candles. So it's the same thing for this, right? This is just doing it in one candle. Same thing right here. Same thing right here. So let's start from right here. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? So it's the same thing that we've seen over here. So we just get our trend line, we would mark it up like that. This is our trend. You can do it on both sides. Right now, the trend line is not always going to be pretty. Sometimes it's going to be ugly, but you want to get the biggest trend that you see, right? So let's say we have a little trend right here, right? This is our trend right here, right? Now, if we have a bigger one, it's even better, but it's not, there's no need for it. As long as it is 3 taps, you're good. Okay, so this is a normal trend line. This is when it looks clean, but sometimes there'll be days where you're entering trades when it's just one big push. And you might think like, how do I make a trend line on this? Now it's going to be ugly. Like I said, you would rather have these ones, but you can still catch it right here. So let's zoom in. Sometimes it helps to zoom all the way in because it kind of spreads the candle out. And we could just, you're going to find where you can make a trend line, right? So we have a trend right here, right? But I kind of want it a little closer, but that's good right there. So you see how we got multiple taps and we got taps right here. It looks good, right? So that's a good trend line right there. Now there'll be some cases where you draw it like this, right? We have a tap right there, tap right there, tap right there. So I want you to see this, right? Because most people don't draw their trend lines like this. Even if I would have seen this before I figured this out, I would have been like, bro doesn't know what he's doing. But trust me, sometimes there'll be big pushes where you just got to make the trend line like this, and it's going to play out. And you can see it play out right here, because in both of these scenarios, we would enter the trade right here. And our stops would be above right there. And we would take us a 1 of 5. So it doesn't really matter on this situation what trend line you drew because you caught it. But do you see how we caught a 1 to 5? And trust me, we're going to be trailing our stop loss, so we're catching this whole 5 risk to reward. So I'm telling you, bro, this is just a glimpse of what you're about to learn. This is really crazy, and it happens over and over and over again. So there's a trend line right there. So now let's just mark up some trend lines. Oh, we got a trend right here. Trend lines are everywhere. Trend right here. Even got a little trend right here. So you can see the market moves in trends. Trend right here. I'm trying to find some ugly ones because it's not always going to look all pretty. Trend right there. Trend right there. Trend right there. And it's okay that this one went through, right? Because we just want to get the most taps. Now, if we would have drew it like this, we're not getting any taps, right? Or you could have drew it like this, which is fine too. But it's okay to draw like this if we have one wick going through, as long as we have more taps, right? We want the most taps. That's what's more important. There could be candles going in and out of it, but as long as we got the most taps, we got a lot of taps right there. Go to a different day. Trend line. See, this is a different type of trend line. It's a little uglier. We have wicks going through it, right? But it makes the most sense. And obviously I'm doing it fast. I'm not, being precise. We got a trend right there. Trend right here. You would drag this one out more. As long as we get those 3 taps, we good. I'm going to just keep marking them up so your eyes get used to seeing them. Soon you'll be able to do this without even lines. It's just trend lines everywhere. Now, of course, sometimes there'll be times where we're using these little trends right here. It's just pushing up, but it's bouncing off this line right here. You notice that? It's not just pushing up and it's not coming back. We're getting bounces with these wicks. We're getting bounces, bounces, bounces. Same thing with the other side. Get them 3 taps, and good. Sometimes we have huge trend lines. It's looking good, looking good. And look at this one I want to show you right here. All right, you see how this one came through and then came back in, but we got more taps if the line is right here. So there's just a whole bunch of trends everywhere. It don't even have to be all perfect. You just got to know that there's a trend right there. Like this one right here, we would be entering right here. Stops below. And look at this. Look at this risk to reward, bro. This is why I call it the Holy Grail, because the win rate is ridiculous and the risk to reward is crazy. It's basically a 1 in 10 right here. It's a 1 in 10. Like, come on, bro. You're in for a treat. This is really about to change your life if you lock in. If you lock in, bro, it's over with, bro. Game over. That's trend lines. I hope you guys understand them. Now let's get to the next section.